Howdy folks, welcome to the shop. Hey, today we're making shiny, and of course it's got a chartreuse tail, silver belly, and it's a dark blue back. Yep, and that's what's left over from last time I made it. I keep when I make baits, I keep the leftovers and put them in bags. I've got probably 40 or 50 back here, and I label them what color they are, so the next time I need to make that bait, saves me a lot of plastic. You go through a lot of plastic when you make baits and sell them, so you got to use everything you can. You just don't throw it away, guys. It adds up after a while. So what I got to do is cut these up. I'm going to put them in pieces in a cup and heat them, and let me get them cut up and I'll show you. Alright guys, I got my chartreuse cooked up. This is the two tail molds I have. Alright, I just have them clamped. It's not worth my trouble to try to work those into the air vise. Alright, so I'm using a single injector and just shot a little bit of that in there. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and shoot all 4 molds. I have 4 molds with LC Shad. I'm going to go ahead and shoot all 4 of them. So I'm going to keep this right here. I'm going to heat that back up, and I'm going to shoot these molds again here in about 5 minutes. Alright guys, I got the microwave running. I'm cooking up the other 2 colors. Here's what I got to do. These are the tails. Alright, when they come out of the mold, little mold I showed you, I got to put each one of them in place. Now, you can take a little bit of oil. This is just cooking oil. So all this is vegetable oil. Alright, you can take and put a little bit on the back right there, just enough to make it slick. And that way when you put it in there, it'll slide. You can move it a little bit and it'll slide right around. Don't hurt the thing. I use cooking oil all the time. In my injector, I use just plain old spray oil, and I use that. That's just vegetable oil. I put it in that bottle. Buy it at the grocery store. It works just good. I know a lot of guys use worm oil. That's great, but worm oil is very expensive. Vegetable oil is cheap, and it works just as fine. I've been using it for years. I've had no problem. In fact, I watched a lot of bait makers, and I seen a guy the other day using it. He said, I seen somebody else using this, so I started using it. So I don't know if you seen me or somebody else, but yeah, I've been using it for years. You got to put each one in place. It takes a while. All right, now we got to shoot the plastic hot enough that it melts into these tails. I like to shoot at about 345. Now, you best to shoot around 325 to 330 is a good area to shoot dual colors, but you want it a little hotter because you got to melt into these tails. And I'm going to shoot 4 molds. So the time I get to that last mold, it's cooling all the time, right? So 345, 350 it does a good job, and I get a good melt into these tails. Let me put the rest of these together. When the plastic quits cooking and gets ready, it's going to be about another 3 minutes for it, and we'll shoot these. Alright guys, we got them both cooked. Turn behind me, grab my block. It's been on the griddle. If I pulled enough up or not. I've been so used to shooting the small baits, the chaoses and stuff, chaos tube and the tracer the last 2 weeks. I've made baits. I've been in the bait shop almost every day, guys, for except Saturday afternoons and Sundays for about 2 weeks. A day or 2 here I fished with Sam and stuff like that. I barely had enough. And been making the tracer. It doesn't take much because they're only make 10 at a time, and the chaos only makes 10 at a time. So you get used to pulling up that much plastic. If you pull up too much, you get a big plug left over. So you try to learn to pull up just enough to get you through. Okay, what I'm doing now is they sunk down a little bit as they're cooling, and there's enough stem. If you add a little bit, just enough stem they don't pull down into the bait. If you don't get them tapped off like that, and here's a bait here, it can pull down in its nose and get an air bubble. So you gotta watch it. All right, they got to cool, so we'll take them a little bit and we'll shoot them again. I'm gonna shoot them again the second run, but we're gonna open them for y'all after they cool. Okay? Y'all ready to open the molds? Okay, we're gonna open one here. Bam! There you go. Aren't they pretty? That's the bottom. There's the blue top. Okay, I'll pull them out of there. Okay, y'all can see it's got that dark blue top. It's a deep blue, and I call it shiny without the chartreuse tail. Because you see how shiny that bottom is? That's right. I put the chartreuse tail on, then it's slick. So you get this bait two different ways, alright? And you see I shoot it hot around 345, so it gets a good melt into that tail right there. The plastic melts right into it. If you don't, you can pull them off. I've shot them before and I get them hot enough, especially when I'm starting, and you could grab and pull them off. Yep, if you don't get them hot enough. I've heard people say, oh, I don't like the tail colors. They fall off in the bags. Well, if you get them if you shoot them hot enough where they melt together, they won't fall off in the bag. If you don't, yes, they will. Alright guys, there you go. That's slick. It's a great color for stained water. Alright, probably work in clear water for some of y'all, maybe brackish water. Shows up good. Here's the routine. You put your number down 1 through 400. We do a draw on Wednesday night. It's a random number draw. I hit the computer and it gives us a number. We go see who came closest to that number without going over the number. If it gives us number 199, you got 200. Somebody's got 195, and 195 is going to win. It's on the criteria we have. Okay? That keeps down fist fights, guys. Alright? I film that on Wednesday nights. I film it a little bit after 5, around 5 o'clock. You need to have your numbers in by 5 o'clock Wednesday evening. I've got to make that video. I got to edit it. It takes a while to encode. Then I got to send it to YouTube. That's right, guys. All that takes time. And I like to have all that done by 8:30 or 9 o'clock. Alright? So there you go. Get your number in. Some people are still leaving numbers after that. So, but it doesn't make any difference. We make the video. We go down through all the numbers. If you're naming numbers there, we're going to see it, right? That's right. All right, guys. Appreciate you. Thanks to everybody for commenting and leaving the number. Okay, somebody's going to win. That's for sure. I mail out every week somewhere. All right, all over the country. So, good luck to everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video after this. Hey, we'll see y'all Wednesday night. See ya. Bam. Alright guys. Oh, that's a decent. Oops. Yeah. I got my net caught up in a bait. I wasn't paying attention. When I laid my rod down a while ago, I laid it down on that long rod there, I laid it down with touching the net. You can't do that. If I'd been a 3-pounder, I'd been in trouble, wouldn't I? By myself. Alright guys. People out riding around today. That's a nice fish. It's supposed to be 60. My truck said it was 63. And it's after 1. It's 1:30. Yeah. After Sunday afternoon. He's about 12 inches. Now I'm going to tell you what. If I don't share anything with you in this video that helps you, I'm going to share something right that helps you. Don't get in your mind exactly what bait or what color you need to fish with that day. Don't go out there and say, well, I'm going to fish with pink with purple polka dots, because that's what they're going to hit today, okay? You're going to disappoint yourself. I have threw at about 4 fish. A couple of them followed me. One of them turned and run. I was using a different color. And I had my mind made up. I was going to make a video with that color. It's a new color. And it should have been perfect for today with the watercolor and stuff. I switched to this color, and this color is called Slick. This is a tail color. This is under hot tails. Okay, under hot tails. Somebody asked me where grenada bug is. Under hot tails. Why? Because it has a tail color. If it's got a tail color where I had to put the tails in the mold and shoot it again, it's under hot tails. This is Slick with a chartreuse tail. Okay. Now, if you look in the regular baits, it's called Shiny. I also make it, and it's called Shiny. It's just a dark blue with some neon blue in it. And a real shiny belly. Got a lot of glitter in the belly, guys. And it has a little bit of silver glitter, silver coloring. It's almost like silver bullet belly. Really dark blue back. But I put a tail on it and it's slick. Without the tail, if you don't want the tail, it's called Shiny. But I done threw it about 3 fish with this one. 2 of them followed me good ways. This one just rose up and grabbed it. That already tells me this is a good color for the day. You can't go wrong with chartreuse or chartreuse tail. The water, we had rain, see all the trash in the water. Day is Sunday afternoon. Friday and Saturday, it poured down. Friday night, I mean poured down. The lake's up probably a foot. You can see on that dock, it's almost up to the beam. It's usually about a foot clearance under these docks.
That over is almost level. So it depends on the dock height. That there's almost level with it. So, yeah, and there's probably some docks that's way up on the edge of them. Depends on what height they put them out of the water. But we've had a bunch of rain, and they're calling for rain 3 days this coming week. Somebody commented today. I looked at the comments before I left. They didn't answer any of them. I just looked at them and ran out here. I'll answer them tonight when I get back on this port of catch for today. Somebody make comment that their lake was up a couple feet. It doesn't surprise me, guys. All it's done is rain. I made this comment about 3 weeks ago. Somebody local commented on the site, when's Lake Gaston's going to clear up? I said May. I know they probably went, May. I'm serious. I told a friend of mine, I seen him just a minute ago. He was loading when I was unloading. He'd been fishing this morning. I told him about that. He laughed. He said, yeah, you're probably right. Because March is covered with rain. April, we have a lot of rain in April. It's going to probably be sometime in May. Sometimes it's June. I've lived here 23 years. Sometimes it's June before it starts getting where you can see 2 or 3 foot again. Normally in this lake, you can see about 3 foot down. If you go to the other end of the lake, I'm about midways, less than midway. You go to the other end, the dam end, you usually see 5 to 6 feet down. Oh, guys, I done throw it about 10. You get about 1 out of 10, 1 out of 15 to bite you. A lot of them, like I say, a lot of them will. I didn't fix my net out of I didn't take my, think about him trying to fish and think at the same time and talk at the same time. I didn't untangle my net. I went to grab my net again. I didn't untangle last time. I went back to fishing. Do y'all do that? Do y'all just get to fish and don't worry about anything else? That's right. I'm out here to fish. We're not here to play with the net. He's about the same size. He's about 11 3/4. The other one's probably a touch bigger. Okay, that's on old slick there. Like I say, without the chartreuse tail, it's shiny. Bam. I don't get run over here, guys. I'm not even going to try to net this fish. I'll get him in the boat before weight gets me here. They cut right between me and the bank over there. I'll tell you, the only thing about a warm day, everybody gets their boat out that lives on the lake. Am I fighting the wind today? That's one reason I wanted to come out this evening. Because I didn't want to fight the wind. There was hardly no wind at all. But, and watch it, he's going to turn around and come right back on the other side of me. It's only, I know it looks like a long ways to GoPro, guys, but it's probably 150 feet to that bank. He come about 75 feet from me just to make a circle riding around. That's a nice fish. He's right at 13 inches. And guys, I have thrown out of quite a few. Probably 6 or 8 cents before I caught that one. That followed me. One of them I threw at 2 or 3 times. He just went to the bottom. And one looked like a really good one. I mean, it was a big mark. I thought, oh, come on, baby. And when I brought it past him, he went the other way. I bet he was probably 15 inches. But I'm getting my size down better. Y'all go back in January when I first started using the live scope again, and in open water, I was messing them. This fish right here has the attitude that everybody wants to see a crappie have. I didn't even see my jig. I threw out there. And I see the fish. I'm looking for my bait. He was 45 feet. I'm looking for my bait. I don't see my bait. I'm going like, well, Dennis, you're not even close to him. Guys, if you can't see the fish and the bait at the same time, you're not even close to him. If you got to turn your handle or your foot control, I like it on my handle because I got my spot lock on. I'm just sitting here looking around my spot lock. If I got to turn it a little bit, the handle, I'm not even close to him. I might as well reel it in. That thing's only reading about 3 foot out there. 3.5 foot, something like that, at 45 feet. Somebody put the math on there one time, I don't remember it. But it's not reading very wide. So, if you can't see your bait and you got to turn to see him and turn to see your bait, you must have reel in. Well, I couldn't see my bait. All of a sudden, he took off, and I got my grids on, guys, so I can see. He took off across one grid, that's 5 feet, started into another grid, and I felt the hit. I was over 5 foot from him. Now, how far can they see in this nasty water? I bet you I was 8 foot from him, and he ran it down and hit it, and he wanted it. And then I'm bringing it past others. Now he's about 11.5. Still a nice fish, guys. You're right. That's what I'm saying. He's got the attitude you want a crappie to have, doesn't he? When he comes running it down. Now I'll tell you what the difference is today. I said it was 60 degrees. Yesterday it rained and it was 60 degrees. That's why the water's so nasty. Rained Friday and it was like 55. We've had a few warm days and it only got down like 45 last night. Yeah, guys. And so that's what's helping. The water was 49 and 50 last time I was out. And that was, oh gosh, I fished so many evenings, I forget what evening it was now. I think it was Friday evening. Yeah. No, it rained Friday. Thursday evening. And it rained Friday and Saturday. Thursday, it's 57 here now. That's the top layer. It was 49.50, and I just ran this turn right here. I was on the other side of this house. Right now, crappie are scattered. That's why I'm on this side. I bet it's crappie from here to that bridge. Last week, I seen a guy fishing up there, and he stopped and talked to me. I didn't know him. He introduced himself. He knew who I was, and he said he was catching them up there, and that was 2 weeks ago. So I know they're scattered, and I know people that catch them at the mouth of this creek. They're scattered right now. They're everywhere. You just put your trolling motor down, take on. That's what I'm doing. I started back there, and I made a big circle right here. All right? And as long as I'm seeing fish, I'm going to keep on making circles. They're scattered that much, okay? Like right now, there's not a fish on my live scope. Let's run it out here to, okay, I'm at 60 feet. I'm turning this handle for y'all new guys. My transducer's on this hand. Here's one here, 55 foot. Little one right here, 20 foot. Couple little ones right there. See, they're scattered. And what I'm doing is running down the bigger marks. I'm just going to my left. Well, here's two. Now I'm looking at this way. Yep, but there's a decent one. And when I see a mark, I think it looks worthwhile. See, there's a couple there. When I see a mark that looks worthwhile, I'm just running to it. I just got my remote right here. I get asked that right often. I put new batteries in it yesterday. The original battery's been in this thing, and they're AAA's. Been in this thing since I bought the boat. I bought this boat new in 2018. They done real good, didn't they? So I put energizers in it. So if y'all see that bunny run across the video, that's why. Because I got energizers in this remote. Bam. All right, guys. I just lost a big one. Probably the biggest one I had on today. He was only 3 foot deep. There's two of them together. Both of them were huge. And I brought it across the surface, dropped it down a little bit above. He rolled right up, chased it down and grabbed it. Got him started, come to the surface, done a little flip-flop, and that was it. Sometimes they're just not to be, are they? And he was big one. Big one. That's all right. That's the way it goes. That's a nice fish. Ain't nothing wrong with him. He's 11.5, 11.75. Hey, I think it's the smallest fish I've caught so far today has probably been about 11.5. Why should I complain? Bam. All right, guys, it's been about 10 minutes. I've thrown a monster. It looked like he was the biggest mark. I said, it can't be a crappie. I'm going to throw at him. I still think it was a crappie, but the biggest mark I think I've ever seen. And he came at the bait, stopped underneath of it, and he followed it all the way to the boat. So I know it was a crappie. And then he got to the boat. I just stopped it, and he would nip it. I just waited. Finally, I kept lifting up on it gently above him. And he just behind it and kiss it. I'm like, when they do that, very seldom you ever catch him. He's about 11.75. I'm catching some nice fish. There's no doubt in that. All right, guys, I don't know how many I caught. I didn't keep up the count. I think that's 5 or 6. I don't know. I have no idea. Again, this color is called Slick. If you take this tail off, it's shiny. Perfect for staying water like this. Water visibility, 10, 12 inches. It was starting to get better. The other day when I fished, I thought, man, I could, at the boat ramp, I could see down about 10, 12 inches before I could see the cement. Today, it's a little less. But, hey, if it's got a chartreuse tail, it's got blue in it, it's got something sparkly where they can see it, and they can see this bait further than you think you can. I told you how far that one came after it, didn't I? All right, guys, fishing Lake Country Dennis is what I do. Just play with baits. Check out Lake Country Baits if you never have. Some of y'all probably haven't. And I got a Facebook page. I try to load stuff on there. Not all the time. Sometimes I don't think about it, guys, till too late. Sometimes Sam with Wildlife Adventures will share a picture with me while I've been with him. Okay? And that type of thing. If I catch a decent fish on a bait, I put it on there. Because basically my channel is about baits. Making baits, fishing with them, showing y'all what baits, what they look like, if they catch fish or not. Hey, Dennis, see, oh, look here. See y'all next time, Fishing Lake Country.